All right, well, what is the general algorithm? How do you find the ith order statistic in the more general case? So we're going to look at two algorithms, the first of which is called randomized selection. A lot of times it's also called quick select. And it's called quick select because it's based on quicksort, as we'll see here shortly. It has an expected linear time complexity, big O of n expected. The average is another way to say that. Which is the same as scanning through the list once. So on average, it's no more work than just looking at every single element, which is great. Like I said, the one algorithm for solving this problem is called randomized selection, and we're going to base this off the only randomized algorithm we've seen so far, which is quicksort. And as your reminder, a key component of quicksort was partitioning. So if we have a pivot element, I want to order everything into the elements that are less than the pivot and the elements that are greater than the pivot. Each of those two partitions aren't sorted within themselves, it's just that they're in these buckets. And when we have that, we can now say, do I need to look in the greater than bucket or the less than bucket to search for the fifth order statistic? So I have two questions for you here. The first is, what is the fifth order statistic for this set of numbers? One way to answer that is to say, what is the fifth smallest number? Well, we've got the first smallest number, the second, the third, the fourth, and then the fifth. So the fifth order statistic here is going to be the number 5. Well, your hint there was that it was the numbers 1 through 8. All right, second question. Do we need to recursively look on both sides of the pivot after we do a partition? So if we're looking for the fifth order statistic, do we need to look on both sides? Well, let's take a look here. If we know the index of the pivot, well, if we know the index, we know it's in its sorted spot, so we would also know that which order statistic it is. So we know that the number 3 is the third order statistic. And we know that any order statistic greater than the third order statistic, well, those have to be found to the right of it. So the answer here is no. We only have to search one side. So you can think of quick select as being quick sort, where we just ignore one of the two partitions. All right, so here is our quick sort algorithm. How do we turn this into quick select? So I'll give you a hint here. We're going to have to look at just these three parts of the algorithm and make changes there. Nothing else will have to change. This stays the same, this stays the same, the entire partition function will stay the same. So this is your exercise. So we will come back in the next video and we'll talk about how you turn quicksort into quick select.